Hey folks, this is Keough with a start to a series that I think and hope will be interesting for you all. I am competing at my next meet at RUM VII in Florida in February, and it's going to be one of the biggest raw powerlifting meets in the United States held in a long time. And what I want to do to try and produce almost like a primer for people to understand who to look for, what to watch for, who's going to be there, what sort of qualifying totals have been posted for individuals competing at the meet. What I wanted to do is I wanted to put together a sort of video series documenting the lifters that are going to be competing at the different weight classes at RUM VII. And so I'll say that with two disclaimers. The first one is because of the amount of time that it will take to do these weight class by weight class and the amount of lifters that are present at the meet, I won't have time to talk about everybody, so I apologize if I don't mention someone. I certainly don't mean to cause offense. The qualifying totals for this meet are very high. They're the same as a lot of other federations' elite standards, so just to be a participant in the meet means a lot because it means that you've reached a pretty high level of competition as a powerlifter. The other disclaimer is, in the event that I mention somebody who I, for whatever reason, and this has to do with Fed politics and other stuff, should not have mentioned or cannot mention, I'll have to rescind one of these videos and take it down. But I don't think that'll happen. I think everything will be just fine. So I'm going to do different weight classes in different videos. Okay, I'm going to go through the men's and the women's side, and I'm also going to do bench only. And what I'm going to do for each video is, in the comments section, I'm going to have, in the description section, I'm going to have posted videos linking you to the competition lifts and the training lifts of some of the competitors that I mentioned in those videos. So, so what I'm hoping this will do is I'm hoping this will build a lot of interest, or at least some interest, for the event. I'm going to start today with the men's 242 because it's a weight class that I feel like is very competitive and very deep, and it's one that I'm going to be really interested in. For Raw Unity, there are 2 days, okay, of full power events. The first day is a no wraps raw day, so you're not allowed to use knee wraps. You are allowed to use knee sleeves, but you're not allowed to use knee wraps, and you also have to walk out your squats. The second day is a knee wrap day in which you're allowed to use knee wraps, and you can also squat out of a monolift. Okay, so they're 2 separate days, and so these lifters are going to fall into one or two divisions, either the raw day or the classic raw day or wrapped raw day or whatever you want to call it. Okay, the first day features I think the top 4 unwrapped 242s in the country right now. Okay, the top 4 ranked 242s without knee wraps. Number 1 is Keough Weber, who's been ranked number 1 at that weight class for a while now without knee wraps. Last year at Raw Unity, he did a 20.44 total. He's pulled over 800 pounds in competition. I know he's squatted 700 and benched 500, but he's pulled at the very least 821 in competition. Okay, and so he is certainly the favorite to win that weight class. He's a fantastic lifter, and he's one of the best unwrapped full meet powerlifters competing in North America right now. Numbers 2 through 4 are all obviously fantastic lifters. Pete Rubish is, I think, ranked number 2 right now. He did an 1851 total at a recent UPA meet. A lot of people know him already. He's a great squatter. He's a great deadlifter. He can pull over 800 pounds. He pulled, I think, 782 at his last meet. Okay, and his bench press is very quickly improving. So he's coming in with like an 1851 qualifying total. Jordan Wong is number 3, and he's another young lifter who's fast improving. He's a great squatter. He has over a 700-pound unwrapped squat at 242, which is fantastic. And he's also a very strong bencher. He benches somewhere in the low to mid fours, And his qualifying total is somewhere in the 820s. I want to say 1824, but I might be wrong about that. Okay. And number 4 in that weight class is Brian Hopper, who's totaled 1802 to qualify for this meet. So 4 extremely strong qualifying totals from 4 top lifters on that day. There's also Shea Jones, who's competing on that day, and he's totaled at past raw unities around 1850. So number 1 will probably go to Kate Weber, but numbers 2 through 5 are all up in the air, and it's going to be extremely competitive. And to place 5th in that division on that day, you could legitimately total well over 1,800 pounds and end up in 5th place. So that just shows how competitive it is. And that's one of those weight classes in which the best guys really made an attempt, or a lot of the best guys really made an attempt to be there. On the second day, you have a number of really good lifters competing on that day. Ernie Lillibridge Jr. is signed up to compete at 242. He's another pretty famous lifter who a lot of people know his lifts. He's near an 800-pound puller. He's a great squatter. He's a great bench presser. He's got really fantastic lifts both at 220 and at 242. And right now he's signed up to be at 242. Also at that weight class, you have a lifter by the name of Casey Williams, who's recently sponsored by Elite FTS. He's one of their lifters now. And pretty recently, he actually totaled 2,000 in knee wraps at 242, which is a fantastic total. Not too many lifters have done that at 242, and that puts him up. I think he's number 4 right now. The best in the country at 242 with wraps, of course, is Dan Green, but he's certainly extremely good 242 as one of the few guys who have totaled over 2,000 pounds at that weight class. And also at 242, you have, this is really exciting for a lot of people, you have another Elite FTS lifter by the name of Steve Goggins who's competing. Steve Goggins is a legendary multiply lifter. In the days of Ed Cohn, he was considered to be really the one guy at around Ed Cohn's weight who could actually challenge him. He's one of the very first, if not the first, to squat 1,100 pounds in multiply, and it's a fantastic squat, and it's really well worth watching. He's also a lifter who's pulled 900 pounds before in training. And just an overall fantastic lifter, considered a legend in the sport. He's now, I think, 50 years old, and he's still extremely strong. And it'll be really exciting to see him lift at that meet and to see what he totals at that meet. So, anyway, that's a very basic primer for the 242-pound weight class. I know I'm missing a lot of people. There are a lot more people who qualified. There are a lot more people who will be there competing, and they all have very strong totals. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of information. I'll post some videos below so you can watch those. Keep checking in. I will have another one of these for you very soon.